The summer of extremes continues. Floodgates have opened, quite literally. Many countries across the globe are left to pick up pieces after devastating floods. Homes and businesses destroyed. Cars washed away. Roads and bridges ruined, and critical infrastructure impacted. There's a trail of destruction no matter where you look. Let's start with the United States. Northeast states witnessed heavy rainfall in mid-July. New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Connecticut witnessed floods and storms. Vermont received over 2 months' worth of rain in just a few days. The Hudson Valley received between 5 to 8 inches of rain in just one day. This is being considered as a 1-in-1,000-year event.
And so please heed this warning. It's just for a short time. Please stay home, stay off the roads until this has passed if you're in one of these designated areas. We've already seen some intense rainfall. Suffolk County had 5 inches of rain already within 2 hours. 5 inches of rain over the course of a day is a lot. Over 2 hours, it's quite extraordinary. And just like last week, we had 8 inches of rain over a short period of time in Orange County, leading to devastating effects.
In China, floods affected the capital Beijing. As we speak, the threat of heavy rainfall remains. The country is experiencing its deadliest and most destructive floods in recent history. Parallels are being drawn with the 1998 floods, when over 4,000 people were killed.
We're not just trying to get a free meal. Maybe today I get to eat a bowl of instant noodles that you donated to me. Then, with the money I save from eating that bowl of noodles, I can buy a piece of floor tile or a brick and rebuild our home. Our home is gone now. I also understand you might say, why should we donate to you when you're capable of working? I really hope everyone can understand that our difficulties have just begun, from the moment we were rescued and the hardest times are still ahead.
The story is similar in Japan. The country witnessed its heaviest rain ever this year. Powerful typhoons are making the situation worse. The Prime Minister's office appointed a special task force for coordinated response. Floods have also impacted the beauty in the Balkans. Slovenia is experiencing extreme flooding. The country recently received a month's worth of rain in just 24 hours. Experts say this is Slovenia's worst ever natural disaster. The estimated damage runs in millions of dollars. And thousands of people had to be evacuated by helicopter or boats.
It's so important to see firsthand and with my own eyes the massive impact of this disaster, and it was heartbreaking to see the devastation that the rain and the flooding and the mudslides have caused. We feel with the victims, we mourn those who lost their lives, but it was also heartwarming to see the enormous solidarity of people and their confidence and their courage.
India too faced deadly floods and landslides this year. New Delhi recorded the wettest month of July in decades. Floodwater entered the premises of the iconic monument, the Taj Mahal. The state of Himachal Pradesh, located at the base of the Himalayas, was the hardest hit.
For the first time, we are seeing so much water in Yamuna. Our children have never seen so much water in the river. They are seeing it now. We are frightened by the amount of water that could cause the water level to rise during the night. Our utensils, house and belongings may get swept away. That is why we are so afraid while sleeping.
The monsoon mayhem is real. But what makes this year's floods extreme and extraordinary? In order to understand the crisis, let's start with breaking it down. What are floods? Floods are the most frequent type of natural disaster. According to the WHO, it occurs when an overflow of water submerges land that is usually dry. Floods can take hours or even days to develop. This gives authorities and residents time to prepare or evacuate. But sometimes floods happen without a warning. What causes floods? The most common causes are heavy rainfall, rapid snowmelt, or a tropical cyclone. Typhoon Doksuri, Typhoon Mawar, and Typhoon Khanun are the latest examples. There are three common types of floods. Flash floods, they are caused by rapid and excessive rainfall. Water level rises quickly. Rivers, streams, or roads may be overtaken. Then there are river floods. This happens when consistent rain or melting snow forces a river to exceed its capacity. And finally, there are coastal floods. They are caused by tropical cyclones or tsunamis. How dangerous are floods? They can cause widespread devastation, resulting in the loss of life, property, and infrastructure. Between 1998 and 2017, more than 2 billion people were affected by floods globally. Floods can be even more dangerous when the water recedes. It can contaminate landscapes with debris, pesticides, fuel, and untreated sewage. The spread of floodwater can also carry diseases. Affected people are likely to lose access to drinking water for weeks on end. This can lead to diseases like typhoid, malaria, cholera, and hepatitis A. Floods can devastate any kind of environment. There are regions that experience frequent floods, and then there are those that have not been flooded for many years. These regions never develop the capacity to adapt to flood conditions. This phenomenon is increasing in frequency and intensity, and that's because of climate change. Greenhouse gas emissions are warming the planet. As the planet warms up, glaciers and ice sheets melt. As they melt, the water level rises. Warmer temperatures increase evaporation. This puts more moisture into the atmosphere than what gets released. Also, as climate warms up, a higher rate of evaporation causes soil to dry out rapidly. The natural moisture in soil is lost. According to a New York Times report, experts say that climate change is making flash floods flashier. This means the timing of floods is getting shorter while their magnitude is getting higher. The most important question is this: why should you care? If you live in a high-rise or a Tier 1 city where floodwater cannot reach, why should you even bother? Because floods affect all of us alike. The stinky water may not enter your home, but it can cause power, water, and gas outage which will impact you sooner or later. It can cage you in your house by disrupting transport routes. It can halt commercial supplies. And if you ever find yourself in such a situation, here's what you need to know. Before floods happen, keep a track of the news, listen to the radio, read your local newspaper. This will keep you updated with all the flood warnings. Do not depend on social media for your news. You might fall into the trap of fake news. Make a plan. Understand how floodwater can enter your house. Install flood barriers or sandbags. Elevate electrical appliances and furniture. Prepare an emergency survival kit. Keep at least 3 days of supplies handy for everyone in your house. This includes water bottles, non-perishable food, a flashlight, portable chargers, a first aid kit, and hygiene products. Ensure your drainage system is not clogged with debris. Stay out of your basement or parking space. You could get trapped under the debris. During floods, disconnect electrical appliances. Avoid walking in floodwaters. If you think you can pass through moving water, think again. Just 6 inches of floodwater can knock you down. After floods, avoid floodwaters. They may be contaminated by oil, gasoline, and raw sewage. Water may also be electrically charged. Make a note of areas where floodwaters have receded. It's best to avoid those areas as the roads may have weakened. They will not be able to stand the weight of your car. Finally, clean and disinfect everything that got wet. These do's and don'ts may seem like common knowledge, but not too many people follow them. It's better to be well prepared and equipped to deal with any situation than be complacent. Floods might be a natural phenomenon, but they've become catastrophic because of us, humans. The constant exploitation of natural resources is backfiring. Sooner or later, all of us will have to learn how to navigate ourselves amidst nature's fury. So, be aware yourself and empower others before all hell breaks loose.